sure to like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening.
Hello, my name is Islan. I'm taking the MS. I'm gonna present about HIV, which stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It's a virus that attacks the body immune system, and if HIV is not treated, it can lead to AIDS, which acute immunodeficiency syndrome. The factor that can lead to HIV is when a man have a sex with another man, and another one is have a partner who is at high risk or already has HIV. Next, have many sex partner, have sex with another person that have many sex partner, exposed to blood or bodily fluids with HIV, were born with their birth mother who have HIV, live or stay in place where HIV infection is common, have an uncircumcised penis, sharing needle with infected person. As you can see, the red ribbon is inspired by the yellow ribbon, which honoring American soldier serving in Gulf War. The red ribbon symbolizes to support and solidarity for people living with HIV and to remember those who have died from AIDS-related illness. Every year on 1 December, the world commemorates World AIDS Day. People around the world unite to show support for those who have lost their life to AIDS. The inequalities which perpetuate the AIDS pandemic are not inevitable. That's all. Thank you.
I'm Sharvita Sriraja and I will be explaining about HIV and AIDS. Human immunodeficiency virus is also called as HIV. It's a virus that attacks the cells that help the body to fight infection, making a person more vulnerable to other infections and diseases. It's spread by the contact with certain bodily fluids of a person with HIV, most commonly during unprotected sex, which is a sex without a condom or HIV medicine to prevent or treat HIV. And it also can be spread through carrying injection drug equipment. If HIV is left untreated, it can lead to the disease called AIDS. The human body can't get rid of HIV and no effective HIV cure exists. So once a person has HIV, they have it for life. Luckily, however, effective treatment with HIV medicine called antiretroviral therapy or ART is available. If taken as prescribed, HIV medicine can reduce the amount of HIV in the blood, also called the viral load, to a very low level. AIDS is the late stage of infection, HIV infection that occurs when the body's immune system is badly damaged because of the virus. In the US, most people with HIV do not develop AIDS. It's because they take the HIV medicine as prescribed, stops the progression of the disease. A person with HIV is considered to have progressed to AIDS when the number of their CD4 cells falls below 200 cells per cubic millimeter of blood. Generally, in someone with a healthy human immune system, the CD4 counts are between 500 and 1600 cells per cubic millimeter of blood. And without HIV medicine, people with AIDS typically survive about 3 years. Once someone has dangerous and opportunistic illness, life expectancy without treatment falls about 1 year. HIV medicine can still help people at this stage of HIV infection, and it can be even life-saving. But people who start HIV medicine soon after they get HIV experience are more benefits. That's why HIV testing is so important.
Alright, hi everyone, my name is Pressy Yong. I'm the video editor part of the PEC. For this assignment, for my topic, I'm going to talk about what's the cause or risk factor of HIV. So actually, what causes HIV? So usually HIV is actually caused by a virus, which actually can be actually transmitted through sexual contact, sharing needles, or contacted or infected blood, or for your mother during the pregnancy. Now, before we talk about the risk factor, we're going to talk about how it affects the person during this process. So actually, HIV can actually infect your white blood cells. One of them is T cells. So T cells are actually very important, as they are many times they are helper T cell. We got the many T cells to destroy all those bacteria and viruses. But if HIV really occurs, it actually can make you sick, and all the T cells are destroyed during this process, and you have some symptoms like flu or symptoms like that. So actually, the risk factors for HIV is like if you don't have unprotected sexual contact, this can actually increase the chance of HIV. Or if you have bacterial infection in the past, that also can cause increase of HIV as well. And of course, to avoid oil sharing needles, because if you have sharing needles, it also expose other people's blood on HIV. So that's about all the causes and risk factors of HIV.
Hello all, I'm Danishwariana from Pandas, and this video is for educational purpose only. So, how HIV transfers into human body? Most people who get HIV get it through anal or vaginal sex, or sharing needles, syringe, or other drug injection equipment, for example, pistols. HIV can get transmitted via breast milk too. That's all from me, thank you.
The detection of AIDS antigen and antibody is the latest generation so far. By adopting the method of situations, detection of antigen and antibody, it can effectively shorten the window period and improve the accuracy. The window period of AIDS detection refer to the performed from the beginning of AIDS virus infection to the time when relevant markers can be detected in the blood before the application of detection method. The window period is 2 to 4 weeks for antigen antibody joint detection of P24 antigen and antibody. Judgment must take blood sampling to detect HIV antibody. If AIDS antibody is positive, it is necessary to suspect HIV infection. Then go to the tested institution for test. If it also positive, it will be confirmed as HIV infection.
I'm Tirina, currently doing Diploma in Medical Science, and I'm the leader of the group. HIV has no cure, but today, more tools than ever are available to prevent HIV. You can use strategies like no abstinence, which is not having sex, never sharing needles, and use condoms the right way every time you have sex. Other than this, limit the number of sexual partners you have. The more partners you have, the more likely you are to have a partner with poorly controlled HIV, or a partner who has sexually transmitted disease. STD. And if you get tested and treated for STDs, insist that your partner get tested and treated too. Having an STD can increase the risk of you getting HIV and spreading it to others. Moreover, you may also be able to take advantage of HIV prevention medicines such as pre-exposure prophylaxis (PrEP) and post-exposure prophylaxis (PEP). PrEP is the HIV prevention option for people who does not have HIV but who are at the risk of getting HIV. Last but not least, and most importantly, your cosigns and the choice you take what might be the reason for you to getting HIV. Because it's not who you are, but what you do that puts you at risk of getting HIV. And what if you tested positive for HIV? Testing positive for HIV often leave a person overwhelmed with questions and concerns. It is important to remember that HIV can be treated effectively with HIV medicines. HIV medicines help people with HIV to live longer, healthy life and reduce the risk of HIV transmission. Step after tested positive for HIV is to see a medical care provider even if you do not feel sick. Prompt medical care and treatment with HIV medicine as soon as possible is the best way to stay healthy. And always stay positive, adopt a healthy lifestyle and positive attitude.
According to the latest activities of UNAIDS and the World Health Organization, by the end of 1998, the number of HIV-infected people in the world had increased to 3.4 million, an increase of 10% over the previous year. In contrast to no part of the world that has resolved the AIDS epidemic, countries reported new infections in 1998. In many areas, there is even a situation where the epidemic is out of control. The Asian continent, especially South Asia and Southeast Asia, has gradually become the focus of the AIDS epidemic. Also, levels of HIV infection remain relatively low compared to the rest of the world. More than 7 million people are